2 weeks ago, we were going through the #1 rated QB in every recruiting class for 2 decades, and we stumbled upon Prince McNitt, who was a spectacular quarterback who committed to the University of Georgia and looked to be one of the best quarterbacks we have found. An elite development trait, just had all the skills to be something special, had the arm, had the mobility, had the abilities. He had everything you could want in an incoming #1 rated QB prospect, but something happened where he mysteriously disappeared. Come to find out, he was cut by Georgia. And if you know a lot about Georgia football, you know that they are, to put it simply, lenient when it comes to their disciplinary standards and what they allow their players to do on and off the field, which sparked many questions. What in the world happened to Prince McNitt? How do you get cut from Georgia? What did you have to do to get kicked off of Georgia's football team, and not just get kicked off of their football team, but be the #1 incoming QB recruit, be that good, that talented, have that big of a future, and for Georgia to give up on you after 1 season? For those of you wondering, you will get your answer to the question, what happened to Prince McNitt? The story we know is simply, he went to Georgia, and then he got cut, and we don't know anything that happened after, but here we get into the freshman season from hell, where he was just about as awful of a teammate, as awful of a human being as you could possibly be. Yeah, he was the #1 overall QB prospect, but it wasn't really his main focus. He went to Georgia because he wanted to be on the national stage, of course. He walked into Georgia just expecting to be handed the starting quarterback job as a true freshman. He didn't really care that he needed to work to get that starting job. He felt he was entitled to it. So when he was given the opportunity to be the 3rd string quarterback, he went behind teammates' backs and tried to sabotage his way to getting to the top of the depth chart, which maybe worked in the short term in terms of getting those extra practice reps, but it didn't help him in the long term, as he was pretty easily caught and ratted out, which obviously turned the locker room against him from day one. And then when he wasn't given what he wanted, he maybe was what you'd call a spoiled brat about it. He skipped classes, he didn't care. To him, he was here to play football, and he was here to be the team's starting quarterback. He was not here to go to class, he was not here to do homework, he was not here to do assignments, so he skipped classes and resorted to just being on social media terminally, basically. He didn't try hard, he didn't do anything when it came to a leadership perspective, when it came to being a student athlete. He was just forever partying, being out late at night, live on social media 24/7, ripping into teammates who criticized him, ripping into the coaches who were disappointed in him. He did everything he could to turn not just the locker room but the coaching staff against him, and he basically just lived on social media 24/7. It got to a point where midway through the season he showed up late to practice for the 3rd straight time, and after getting onto the field and trying to run through some of the routes, because he kept showing up late and not paying attention, he missed his receivers on just about every timing route and every anticipatory route, and the receivers called him out on his stuff. One of the receivers even stepped up to him and told him, "You need to take this seriously." McNitt, being the calm, level-headed, and rational person he is, resorted to just starting to swing on him, and they got into a fight. McNitt did win the fight, but he did not win anything else. He caught himself a suspension for the remainder of the season. And perhaps that suspension didn't even matter that much, because he was academically ineligible anyway, because he refused to show up to class once he was not named the starting quarterback. He did not show up, he did not do anything, he did as minimal work as possible, if you even want to call it work, and was academically ineligible, was booted from the team. The locker room refused to even let him in because of how much they hated him. Just about every player who was going to be returning for a next season went up to the coaches and said, "We're not playing with this dude, we don't want this guy on our team," and the coaches really couldn't argue with him. Talent or no talent, it doesn't matter if you are one of the most unlikable people possible. And as a result of that, not only did he not play a single snap in his entire freshman season, the lack of football and classes caused him to be on social media even more and to be out partying more, and by the end of the year, he was just straight up kicked off of the team and forced into the transfer portal, where understandably so, despite the talent, not a lot of schools were interested in giving him an opportunity. And despite being a 5-star player, he would be going from Georgia, top tier level college, all the way down to lowly Georgia State, where he has an opportunity to potentially right the wrongs of his freshman season. But if you thought change was going to happen overnight, obviously that would be unrealistic to think, because McNitt walked on to Georgia State acting like he was much bigger than the school itself. And, you know, he was named the team starting quarterback. That was his one parameter that he would refuse to walk onto a school if he wasn't going to be named the team's instant starting quarterback. And when it comes to a school like Georgia State, what do you have to lose with a guy like Prince McNitt, who is a better, more talented player than this school has ever seen in its time being a Division I school? But if you can't get him to figure things out from a mental perspective, maybe it doesn't matter. But with all that being said, there's been a lot of talk from McNitt's side, from people spectating the sports side, whether he deserved a second chance or not. But regardless, he needs to show it on the field, and on the field is going to be the biggest determining factor. If his talent outshows everything that is wrong with him as a person potentially and as a teammate, then some schools are going to look past that, and maybe even one day the NFL will look past that. But that's for the future. That's not for right now. For all we know, he could be fizzling out in just another season and lose favor with the entirety of Division I college football and flame out never to be seen again. But talking is done. It's time to see the most anticipated debut in Georgia State history, and McNitt on his first throw has it caught on the outside. That's going to be a first down, and McNitt now jumping to 3rd down and 9. What has he got here on a big 3rd down? He's going to try to run it, and McNitt just can't get the first down marker. McNitt is the type of player who, you know, he'd rather run it and do it himself, because if he has to throw it to another receiver, then they get the credit, but he wants all the credit for himself. McNitt runs it in for a touchdown, and that's going to be his first of his career. Now dropping to throw once more here. Ball back, 7-0 game. Throwing, and that's going to be intercepted, but there is a flag on the play, and despite throwing a reckless interception, he is going to get it called back with a roughing the passer. McNitt is the prototypical hero ball type of quarterback who tries to do everything himself, and it's never his fault if he does anything wrong. And speaking of doing something wrong, he's doing a lot wrong here. He loses a lot of yards on the sack, and he is just going to be a frustrating player potentially. If you're looking for good quality safe football where he's doing all the right things at the right times, this is not your guy. But when you're looking for a dude who's just trying to make the highlight plays and do everything himself, well, this is going to be your quarterback, as McNitt will just have a screenplay, and he won't even throw the screen. He's just going to run it, and he's just going to run for a big gain, fumbling out of bounds. But once again, he's just not trying to give the ball to anyone else. He wants all the credit for himself, and when he finally throws it, it's going to be intercepted. You can already tell with how McNitt is playing, he feels like he is above playing a team like Kent State, that he has too much talent to be on the field with players like this. But it's a team sport, and you got to be a good teammate, and you got to be in sync with your guys if you're going to come out here and succeed, regardless of how talented you are. Throwing, hit as he was thrown, and that's going to be caught. It's going to be one of those plays where it's not a play that many quarterbacks in the nation are going to be able to make, and another one right there is going to be incomplete. 4th down, they punt the football away, and now with the football back, the defense has done a great job so far, and that's going to be a catch on the outside, caught for a big gain and 1st down. McNitt using his arm a little bit more, but when will he go back to the legs? He's out here bailing out of the pocket once again, and you could just see the offensive line is probably frustrated with him already. This is a guy who has absolutely zero trust in the players around him. He doesn't trust the offensive lineman, he doesn't trust his receivers, he doesn't trust anybody. He's just trying to do everything himself, and he's bailing out. Again, game is on the line. They're trying to seal this with 2 minutes to play, and he's launching one deep, and that's going to be caught. 2-minute warning has hit, but that's going to be a big catch, and they're going to be a 1st down away from sealing the game. They won't get it, but it'll kick a field goal to give them a 2-score lead. Defense gets a stop, and on the kneel down, he gets tackled after the play, and you can see already even Kent State doesn't like him that much because he's getting tackled after a kneel down. Kent State not able to win. It's going to be a 1-0 start for McNitt and Georgia State, despite how frustrating he may have played as a teammate, but it got the job done, and I guess that's all they're really hoping for at the end of the day. That first game didn't give you a whole lot when it came to the glimpses of what McNitt can do as a talent, but he just still doesn't have the trust in his players. But there's a nice deep ball thrown, and that's going to be a great way to start the game for Georgia State, who is at home here against a very good Memphis team. And the running back has got a big gain, and he's going to be going inside the 20-yard line. It's going to be first and goal inside the 10, and now skipping ahead to third down and goal, throwing outside. That's going to be caught, but not quite a touchdown. It's going to be settling for a field goal. Third down and 15. Now we jump ahead once again as McNitt. The offense does not do a whole lot when it comes to first and second down. It's up to McNitt to try to do something on third down, but he just doesn't do much. You have to wonder, at what point will he start trusting his teammates? Well, it may not be on this play. He's going to take off. He has a man he could throw to, but he's going to run it and go for the end zone. He jumps over a man, and he gets to the goal line. It's going to be at the 1-yard line, and what a move from McNitt. And on the next play, they have a perfect play designed for McNitt to run it into the end zone. But great athleticism from McNitt, able to just jump over a guy and get himself almost into the end zone. He capitalizes there, but they are up 10-0, and he's going to run it once again, breaking a tackle, but he puts the ball on the ground, and Memphis picks it up. He's not going to slide. He's the type of guy who's going to try to create a highlight play like that hurdle, because that's going straight under the social media for those followers, and it's going to be a play like that, a safety on a run play where he's just not going to have any faith in his running back after that, because he's the type of dude who will watch a player do 10 good things, but the second they do one bad thing, he'll never let it go, and he's going to run it again, and he's going to leap over another man, and he just doesn't care. He's trying to put highlights on the board and doesn't do anything else in terms of trying to win the game. He throws a pass there on third down, gets it for a first, and they're going to be close to scoring position, trying to make this once again a 2-score game, but now he's running around, and he's out here missing screenplays because he's trying to run around and dance around and do a whole bunch of stuff, thinking he's prime Russell Wilson, but he is going to try to run it again, now throwing back across the field, left side. That's going to be caught, first down, and a whole lot more yardage. McNitt showing some good plays here. Now rolling right. He loves rolling right, and he's got an open receiver, but he's not going to throw it. He's just going to use him as a blocker, and he's going to score another touchdown. And he has yet to even throw a touchdown so far in these first two games, just running for them. Memphis, though, got a 62-yard Hail Mary and then proceeded to take the ball in the second half and score again. So it's not looking as good for Georgia State, who now only holds a 3-point lead, and it's going to be Brock, the running back, with a big run. And McNitt, usually you'd like to see your quarterbacks maybe get in there and block a little bit, but he's just going to stand there and watch. And once again, he's trying to do too much with the screenplays. At least he gets this one off, and the running back fumbles the football, and that's going to be Memphis taking it back, and a second fumble turnover for this team. Now it's going to be second down with the ball back. At least we got the stop, but then a fumble from McNitt now, and that's going to be a scoop and score. McNitt just needs to learn to throw the football away once in a while, and he just refuses to do that. Now we jump ahead, threatening to go 3 and out here, down by 4. All of a sudden he breaks out of a sack, and he's just going to run it, and the guy he broke the sack from manages to bring him down for a short gain. Defense gets a stop, though. Still a 4-point game as McNitt trying to step up in the pocket for once, but then he runs around playing a little bit of backyard football, and he's going to run it up ahead for a gain of 6. And maybe he could have thrown that down the field, but he just doesn't seem to keep his eyes down the field as much as you may like. He's going to run, bail again. He's got another first down run and more. Out of bounds he goes, and they're here tackling him late. I mean, even enemy teams don't like him all that much. Now running, and he's going to fumble the football again. And that's going to be his third fumble. All 3 of them lost. That one maybe less his fault, but more so the blocking there. Now he's going to throw outside. It's still a 4-point game with just 2 minutes to go. And a big pass play there is going to set them up in enemy territory. Third down and long, though. He's got to have a big play here. What has he got in store? He's going to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete. There's a flag on the play, and maybe a potential bailout scenario here. It's going to be pass interference. Georgia State set up. It's going to be a minute and a half to play. He's going to throw underneath. Quick pass. It's going to be caught. First down yardage is acquired. And now it's going to be goal to go. But jumping ahead to 4th down and goal. Game on the line. Can McNitt do something here? He's got an open man in the flats, and he's not throwing it. He wanted to run it in, but he just decided to throw it too late. I don't know if he didn't see him or he just didn't want want to see him. It seemed like he maybe wanted the glory all to himself for getting a game-winning touchdown, and rightfully so. He's being criticized on social media for it, but he does not care. He's blaming the coaches, and you could already see just the type of person he is just from that instance right there. He may have costed his team a victory, but I'm sure you can assume that he doesn't really care about that. He's just mad that he wasn't able to score the game-winning touchdown. And as we move ahead to his game against Vanderbilt, a much tougher opponent here in the SEC, he gets it down to first down and goal after a big run. Now jumping ahead, third down and goal. He is moving. He is going to run it, and that's going to be another rushing touchdown. And McNitt just still hasn't thrown one into the end zone yet. He just wants to keep it for himself and do everything he can to try to make himself get all the glory. And now he is going to get sacked here on third down. It's going to be a 3-and-out. And we're moving fast in this game because it's been a 3-and-out simulator basically for Georgia State, as it's going to be a rare first down occurrence there for them. Third down now, and he's going to throw, get hit as he's thrown, incomplete. Now time ticking down here in the second quarter, and it's going to be an opportunity to potentially score. He's got a deep ball thrown, and that's going to be caught. Finally, an opportunity to potentially take a lead here, 10-7. It's going to be inside the 5, third down and 4, throwing, and it's going to be knocked away. It's going to be incomplete. Field goal will tie it, though, and once again, getting the football back with little time to go. A turnover from the defense. He takes a shot to the end zone. It's going to be incomplete. They settle for another field goal, but Georgia State is on top here. Their defense has played really well to start this season, and a screenplay, he finally throws it properly, and it's not going to result in a first down, but now third down and 14. Defense once again getting a stop. He's going to break out of a sack, and he's going to run it. Can he get the marker? He tries to make a miss, can't do it, and despite the good effort, he's not able to get the first down. Defense, though, got another stop. It's very impressive what they are doing. Now it's going to be in the fourth quarter. McNitt rolling out. He is going to throw it on the run. It's going to be intercepted by Vanderbilt, and he's not even going to make the tackle. He's just going to let his teammate knock him out of bounds. Vanderbilt gets a touchdown, and now McNitt has to lead a scoring drive to potentially take a lead, and now the running back fumbles. And this team, it's not even just McNitt. The running back's fumbling a bunch. McNitt is now on fourth down, trying to get a big play to keep this game alive, and it's going to be caught for the first down, and the game is still alive. Minute and a half to play. He's going to roll right. He's going to throw it on the run. That's going to be caught too. Okay, using his arm a little bit. Now moving the ball. Third down and 3. Does he got another first down in him? This one he's going to use his legs, and he's got it. Got a block downfield, and he's inside the 15-yard line. First down and 10. Little time to play. He's going to roll right. Looking a little slowed down, but he checks it down. That's going to be caught inside the 10. Down, second down and 1, jump it to third down and 2, less than 20 seconds to play. He's immediately bailing left, throwing, caught, and it's going to be first and goal. Short yardage situation, throwing, and that's going to be a touchdown. He finally throws a touchdown here in his Georgia State career, in his college football career. We're going to overtime where Vanderbilt scores. A third down screen gets blown up, and now a field goal try to make it a tie game is no good. We are not going to second overtime, and McNitt can only watch his team blow a second overtime opportunity. You'd think with a player of his caliber here playing an FCS team that it would be pure domination, but a touchdown here from McNitt to tie the game at 7-7 is going to lead to a bit of a struggle here. We're already in the second half, and things just aren't going well, and especially if you're not throwing a good pass like that, that's going to be intercepted, and McNitt's not even going to try to track him down. He's going to just watch his team give up a pick 6, and it's going to be all his fault there. It's going to be 17-10. They are losing to an FCS school. That ball, though, is going to be down the field, caught, and he's on the run for a big gain inside the 20-yard line. Now jumping ahead, third down and 4. Screen set up. That's going to be caught, and this team loves calling screens, and McNitt hates running screens, so it's going to be a situation where a second down and goal, another screen set up. That's going to be a touchdown, and he's basically being forced to throw screen passes, and he doesn't want to do that, obviously. He wants to run around and make a play, and the offensive coordinator kind of understands that that's not going to be what makes his team more successful. If you allow McNitt to have too much power, too much control over the offense, it's going to not result in the best of scenarios and best of outcomes. 4th and inches here after a big run. McNitt's hurrying the team back to the line. He wants to go for it here, and it's kind of understandable. In opponent territory, short yardage situation is capitalized on. Down by 3 still here. It is later in the fourth quarter. It's going to be third down, throwing underneath. That's going to be incomplete, and the field goal try is going to be what's needed to tie this game up. And I mean, in this moment, you could already see just the fall that he has taken in a year's time. The field goal was no good, but I mean, you're going from Georgia school, sitting there potentially facing SEC schools if you just wait your turn, all the way to now struggling here at Georgia State against an FCS school with just 2 minutes to play. The handoff's going to go for a touchdown. Georgia State's going to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter, and they're maybe going to escape out of this one with a victory. The defense is going to do their job, and Georgia State hangs on for their second win of the season. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't good, and you wouldn't exactly call this a beautiful game from McNitt, but we are moving on here against Marshall now in the Sun Belt Conference play starting up here, and it's going to be an early third down misfire, but the field goal was good, and Georgia State's defense did their job and did a really good job of setting them up in great field position. Got an open man, it's going to be dropped, but that's also just not a good throw. You obviously won't hear him say that. You'll just obviously hear him say that the ball was dropped. Third down now, incomplete. Another field goal is good, but the struggles in the red zone are prevalent for this team. McNitt going to take off here. Defense still holding on to a shutout so far in the first quarter. First quarter coming to an end now as McNitt is going to break out of a sack and not going to break out of another, and he fumbles the football away. It's going to be Marshall football, and just like that, Marshall has scored a couple of times. It's now 10-6 screenplay there, and McNitt, you can see he's not overly enthusiastic to be getting yards on the screens, but it's going to be setting up goal to go, third down and goal, and that's going to be incomplete. And once again, another situation where a field goal was having to be settled for, but they took him out, it looks like, and they punched in a touchdown run. So they took McNitt off the field to get a touchdown, and now it's 13-10. McNitt finally slides down. You don't see that very often from him. It's going to be 13-10 here, third quarter. He's rolling out immediately, doing his signature stuff, and that's going to be caught for a first down. Good throw there, and now first down and 10. Another screen set up, and he just doesn't like the offense, it looks like. You can already see how disinterested he is, and he has been very disinterested with the offensive philosophy of a lot of screens and everything. He throws a touchdown there, though, and that's going to be a rare passing touchdown for McNitt, who doesn't usually throw those, especially in the red zone, where he has struggled all season. Now third down and 7. He's going to run it up ahead, first down, and it's going to be, with a 10-point game, a chance to take a bigger lead, but that's going to be another fumble. Marshall puts up 10. Georgia State got a safety, and now the football back late here in the fourth quarter. Opportunity to seal this game. McNitt throws one up ahead for a good gain, second down and inches. It's going to be a handoff. No, he's going to fake it. He's going to run outside. He's got the block, and there goes McNitt. He's going to go untouched all the way, rushing touchdown, and he's going to celebrate his way into the end zone, taking a bow, and that's going to put the punctuation on a Georgia State victory here. It's going to be 2 in a row for them, 3-2 on the season, and even still, he is not exactly doing a whole lot in the classroom, but he is going to be in another game here against UCF. It's going to be the 6th game of the season where he has a first down connection there. UCF, a really tough opponent. Probably the toughest opponent of the season so far, as a 4th down and 5 situation popped up there after an incompletion. Could have been intercepted. Now first down and 10 as they got the ball back out of bounds, and he still gets tackled. No flags, though. Seems like the refs aren't exactly giving him favorable calls. He got like that Cam Newton treatment, you know, when Cam Newton just got no calls against him, and there it is again. Just no flags when he gets hit late out of bounds. They don't care. Throwing to the end zone, though, and that's going to be a touchdown. A good one there. And McNitt has not had many touchdowns come from even outside of the 10-yard range when it comes with his arm. It's just been a lot of short stuff, but he got a good one there, and it's going to be a 10-7 lead over UCF. It'd be a bit of an upset if they could come out here and win this game. On top of that, just having Georgia State at a record where they could potentially be 4-2 would be really impressive for what the school usually does, and that is just a ridiculously bad decision and an interception. He just didn't want to throw the screen, and I think he just threw that one out of rebellion. He did not want to throw another screen pass. Instead, he just chucks one up and doesn't even try to make a tackle. Instead, UCF has gotten all the momentum now after that, and that's just one of those plays where you can't let your ego get in the way. You're in position to win the game, and when you're making throws like that, you could have an extended lead. Instead, you gave UCF all the momentum, you gave them a pick six, and now you're playing from behind where that touchdown only is going to pull you within one score. And it's going to be a situation where you got to just play better and be smarter. It's going to be a 5-point game. UCF tacks on a field goal, so it's going to be an 8-point game. Still one score. Deep ball is going to be intercepted once again, and McNitt is just going to watch as he gets taken down. UCF tacks on another touchdown. It's going to be a 2-score game, and now desperation is needed, throwing it down the field. That's going to be caught for a big gain. It's desperation mode now as they try to get this back down to a 1-score game. McNitt's going to run it up ahead. He's going for the first down marker, and he fumbles the football again, and it's going to be UCF football. And you can really argue that every game Georgia State has played has been winnable. I mean, that touchdown, if he just throws it against Memphis instead of trying to be selfish, that's a win. If against Vanderbilt he plays a little bit smarter, a little bit better in certain situations, that can be a win. And if this team right here, UCF, if he just doesn't try to play a rebellious style of football or just holds on to the dang ball, you could argue this could have been a win. Georgia State right now could very well be 5-1 at this point. Instead, they are 3-3, in part because of and in spite of Prince McNitt. So it's really a mixed bag with what you've gotten here in the first half of the season. And of course, he's going to come out there and start partying and staying out late when he shouldn't be. He's getting NIL offers at least because he's such a popular player despite being on such a small school. But I mean, that's not how you celebrate a loss that's in part your fault. Teams will tolerate bad people who do great things on the field, but what happens when you're not doing great things on the field either? He's got to play better. For Georgia State, they start the second half of the season 3-3, but luckily for them, everything from here on out is just conference play. They are 1-0 in the conference with that win over Marshall. And in the second conference game, they got Georgia Southern here. And they're going to start off with a 7-0 lead with a rushing touchdown. Not by McNitt, but by the running back Brocken. That's going to be 7-0 here as McNitt will throw. He's going to step up. He's going to run it. And there goes McNitt. He's going past the 50. He fights ahead for it and just gets to midfield. Now 3rd down and 4, jumping ahead a little bit, and McNitt will throw, and he's going to run. No, he's going to throw it, and he finally does, and it's going to be incomplete. Maybe he could have ran it there, but jumping ahead once more, it's going to be 3rd down, and the handoff, it's going to be a safety, and that's the second time that's happened this season where they've taken the ball out of McNitt's hands, backed up in the end zone. It's been a safety. Now 7-5 is the score. He's going to throw one down the field, and that's going to be caught and on the run. And before he gets brought down, that's going to be a big game. 2-minute warning here in the first half. McNitt will throw it, and that's going to be intercepted. And a rare opportunity to actually say running the ball and being a little selfish there was the right move. And don't ever tell him that, as he's going to take off here. And if you tell him being selfish is the right move, he will take that and quite literally run with it, as it's going to be throwing and caught. Will he get to the marker? 3rd down and 12 turns to 4th and 1. Not quite the first down. They take McNitt off the field. It does prove to succeed, though, as they get the first down now. Jumping to 2nd down and goal. Handoff. That's going to be another touchdown. And McNitt maybe not the most thrilled that the touchdowns have not come from him, but they are on top 14-12 as McNitt will roll left and he will throw it back. And that's going to be intercepted. Just a bad throw. And he's not going to make a tackle. He's just going to watch it go all the way back for another pick 6. He's thrown a couple of those so far this season. And once again, he is now given a lead up to the opposing team. Now it's going to be late in the 3rd quarter. He needs to make a big play here. And it's going to be a big play. That's going to be for first down yardage. And now jumping ahead to the red zone where we are in the 4th quarter. Needing a score to try to take the lead. Throwing to the end zone. And that's going to be intercepted again. And McNitt is not going to be happy about that one. Now throwing outside. It's going to be the defense at least making a couple of stops. And a screenplay setting them up in good field position. But McNitt is just not playing well. And it really begs you to question if he even cares right now, because this is a guy who you could just tell by his reactions, by how he's playing. He just doesn't look like he cares. He's not holding onto the football. He's not running the plays that the coach wants him to when it comes to certain screen calls. He's not doing everything he is being asked of. He's not making safe throws. Yet despite all that, he might have just thrown a game-winning touchdown with 3 minutes to play. And it's like, man, if this dude just gave an ounce of effort, just tried to care a little bit, maybe this team would have something special, and that's why he was the #1 overall QB prospect. He is special for a reason, but he's just got to care. It's going to be 2 minutes to play. Now under 2 to go. 3rd down and 11. McNitt to throw it, trying to seal this game. Does he have something? He's going to try to run it, and he's got the first down, and he gets out of bounds. It's going to be clock now ticking down little by little bit more. If they can get another first down, it might be all over. He's going to throw it, and that's going to be incomplete. It's going to be a field goal try. Defense gets a stop, and it's going to be a victory. So despite all the things we've had to say, Georgia State is 4-3. Maybe you could argue they'd be 5-2, 6-1, but they're going to be happy with a winning record. And McNitt's not exactly setting the best of examples off the field, still unable to just get things right off the field. He was out partying late once again. He's skipping classes and sleeping in once again. And things are really getting a little bit more tense week by week. Big game in the Sun Belt against Coastal Carolina. Georgia State trying to keep their momentum, even though the non-conference schedule didn't treat them the best. They are trying to get another victory in the Sun Belt, where they are very much in contention to potentially make a conference championship if they can continue their success. They're 2-0 already and trying to make it 3-0 in the conference as 2 straight 3-and-outs, and overall just 3-and-outs across the board in the first quarter. We're already on to the second quarter where McNitt finally has a first down for this offense that has struggled quite a bit to this point. They are down 7-0 as the blitz comes in. He throws a good one, though, and that's going to be a first down conversion. Now getting it close to the red zone where they will sweep the ball right, and it's going to be a first down run, and it's going to be close to goal to go. 3rd down and 5 inside the 10-yard line. McNitt will run, and he is going to actually throw it, and that's going to be a little bit of an interesting one as he actually threw the football. He had an opportunity to potentially run in for a touchdown, so I mean, there's some improvement at least, but right as we say there's some improvement, he's going to go out and throw a pick, and it's going to be a pick 6. This time he actually tried to track him down, and it's just not going to work. 21-7, and McNitt is going to fumble the football now, and it's picked up by Coastal Carolina, and they're on the run, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown, and it's 28-7, just like that. It's 35-7 now, and we are here in the 3rd quarter, and McNitt is just playing a spectacularly bad game. 4th down and inches, and he is being taken off the field now, and this is going to be it for McNitt. He has been benched in the 3rd quarter, and he has gone from 5-star superstar quarterback to being benched at Georgia State. Coastal Carolina is going to get the easy victory. The offense was able to put some points on the board after McNitt left, but he has blown up on the sidelines, and after a resulting benching, he got into it with the head coach, and not only did he get into it with the head coach, he started a shouting match. When people tried to calm him down, he shoved the coach and got booted from the sidelines and was handed a suspension. The resulting suspension caused him to just straight up leave. He went home. He stopped showing up to classes, and the suspension was an indefinite one, and where he let his grades slip. Now he's academically ineligible. He's suspended by the team. The team is going on without him, and things might just be over for Prince McNitt. He might be done. But what I can tell you is, after a couple of weeks at home, suspended, the coaching staff did meet up with Prince McNitt, and they basically had a big-time talk where they said, I mean, if you want to go down this road and you want to do this, then sure, go get kicked off of this team as well. Go play JUCO college football, go to the FCS level, and fade away to be nothing. Or you come back onto the team, you get your grades back up, you go, you get one more try. You get one more opportunity. You're on a short leash. You go, be a teammate, because if you want to ever have a chance of being some big star, then you have to go and work with the teammates that you have and work with the coaches that you have and go and be the talented player that you are. But if not, go leave. Go to the FCS. Go play at some random school nobody's ever heard of. For Georgia State, they've never had a player this talented, so for them, it's not really much of a risk. Why let that player go fade away? And, you know, you're never going to get another chance at a player this talented, so try to fix him and have his back. With Georgia, a guy like Prince McNitt is replaceable at Georgia. You can go and get a bunch of players whenever you want. Georgia State, though, what do you have to lose by giving him one more opportunity? Even McNitt was smart enough to realize that, yeah, this is his final chance, so he accepted. Prince McNitt is back for the final game of the regular season, where Georgia State is on the verge of doing something they've never done in school history, as McNitt's first throw is down the field, and that's going to be caught, and on the run, that's going to be all the way for the touchdown, and Prince McNitt is back with a big touchdown pass, his longest of the season, and Georgia State is trying to accomplish something massive here. This school has not done a whole lot, but McNitt, I can't even get the words out because he's got another big play, and that's going to be over 100 yards passing in his first 2 passes, make it 3 for 3, and he's already at first and goal again, handoff, and that's going to be a quick 14-0 start for Georgia State. And this game is massive because if Georgia State can win, they punch their ticket to the Sun Belt Conference Championship. This school has never won a conference championship in school history. This team has also never had a double-digit win season in school history. The most they've won in a season is 8 games. They can tie that with a win here today. And McNitt, it is a 14-10 game. This team has cooled off a little bit after the hot start, but McNitt is playing a spectacular first half to start off, and he's got him set up 4th down and 3. The field goal is good. Now, little time to go. There is just a handful of seconds to play. McNitt not letting that stop him as he makes a good throw on the run there. Timeout used. Now under 10 seconds to play. He's going to throw it. He's going to step up. He's going to run it, trying to get his team into field goal range, breaking a tackle. Unfortunately, too much time ran off the clock. It's going to be 24-17 here, so it's been a little bit of a slowdown for this offense as the defense has not done a good job. McNitt hasn't even turned the football over yet, so you can't even blame him exactly. So it's going to be up to him to try to get this offense out there, and that's going to be a good throw over the middle of the field and attacking the middle very effectively. 1st down and goal, throwing on the RPO, and that's going to be a touchdown for McNitt. And he's playing by far his best game of the season. It's all tied up here, 24-24 late in the 3rd quarter. McNitt is going to outrun the defender. He's going to throw it on the run. Dangerous ball, and that's going to be intercepted. Okay, he's going to throw an interception. That's something he's done quite a lot of this season, but he's at least made a lot of good plays to make up for it. 27-24, they are down here going potentially into the 4th quarter. McNitt will roll left. He is going to throw it, stopping and hitting his man in stride, and that's going to take us to the 4th quarter where McNitt will throw on 3rd down. He's got nowhere to go with the football, but he does get rid of it at least, and a field goal try is going to be good. Team gets a good stop and gets him in good field position. 3rd down and 2, trying to get into the end zone. Open man, and that's going to be caught, but out of bounds. He couldn't even get a foot in. Instead, a field goal is going to have to be taken here, and it's going to be 30-27, but Georgia State has the football back, and throwing hit as he's thrown incomplete. Now suddenly it's do or die. Texas State scored, and now with a minute and a half to play, McNitt has a chance to punch his team's ticket to a conference championship appearance. Minute to play now, 3rd down and long. Can he keep the game alive? Standing strong in the pocket and throwing a laser over the middle of the field. What a throw in between 2 defenders, and that's going to be extending the drive. Does he have another big play in him? 2nd down. It's going to be a sack. Time's running out. Timeout used. 3rd down and long once again. Throwing outside. He's got it for the 1st down and more. 1st and goal. McNitt now jumping ahead. 2nd down and goal. He's going to throw it. Under 20 seconds to play. And he's got it for the touchdown. And Georgia State has it. Turning to the defense for just a couple more seconds. And with Texas State with 2 seconds to play, they can't get a miracle. And Georgia State has their 8th win of the season. Many questioned why put McNitt back in, why give him another chance. This team went 3-0 without McNitt during his suspension. Well, he comes out and looks every bit the player that you thought he could be. 350 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, 70+% completion percentage, and now this team is going to a conference championship, a chance to win their first ever conference championship, and a chance to set the school record for wins in a season. even still, McNitt's not always going to be a guy who changes overnight, but he's going to take a lot of the credit here, but still, I mean, you'll take that. He deserves the credit, at least for that game. Maybe not the 3 games while he was suspended, but now we're on to a conference championship appearance against UL Monroe. Can this school hit the highest of highs that they have ever seen before? We will see, but we are on the road here against UL Monroe, and McNitt starting off with a run here. He's going up the right side, and he's hurdling over a man. He starts the game with a massive highlight reel play, but it is going to be quickly 3rd down where he is brought down. And the highlight reel run doesn't net that much. Defense gets a stop now. It's going to be first quarter, midway through. 3rd down pass is incomplete. 3 and out. Now getting the football back. Defense is doing their job. Both defense is doing their job. And now McNitt will throw on the run. That's going to be caught. And on the run, that's going to be a big gain. And he's trusting his arm a little bit more. Maybe trusting these teammates a little bit more. And the run play now. And the running back's got a big run. And he's going to go inside scoring position. Now they're in field goal range, but you want more here. 3rd down. He's bailing out the pocket. He's going to throw, and he's got it out of bounds. Incomplete. The field goal is good, and with the football back here on 3rd down, close to midfield, the pass outside is going to be caught, but he couldn't break the tackle. UL Monroe gets the football back, but they're just not able to score here. Now jet touch pass here. 1st down and 10, and he's got it on the run, and McNitt's watching as he's going to go all the way for a touchdown, and the easiest passing touchdown you'll get in your career. 10-0 game in Georgia State's favor, and they are looking real good right now. The defense continues their success. Still no points on the board for the Warhawks as McNitt's going to roll right, throwing on the run. That's going to be an open man, caught for a 1st down. Great throw there. 2nd down and long. Now McNitt throwing, and he's going to toss one deep, and he let it a little too far inside. Tried to split the 2 defenders. Instead, the safety got enough range to get over there. It's an interception. Ultimately, it doesn't result in any harm as McNitt's going to throw it here with less than a minute to play. Now under 30 seconds. He's got a big completion. Now there's a chance for a field goal before the end of the half. McNitt's going to step up. He's going to run it, and he's got a lot of room, and McNitt jukes inside. He takes the hit, takes the timeout, and now with 16 seconds to play, the clock is running. He has a shot to the end zone, incomplete. McNitt staying aggressive here. 7 seconds to play. 3rd down, maybe one more shot before you're taking a field goal. And McNitt, he's taking his time. He's launching for the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown. And the Panthers score right before the half, and it's going to be a big-time lead here, 16-0, as the defense gets the ball in good position. Unfortunately, they can't get in the end zone, but McNitt comes off the field, and they get a touchdown without him. It's going to be 23-0. Georgia State playing their best game of the season in the most important time, throwing on the run down the field, and it's going to be caught, and there he goes all the way down inside the 20-yard line, and it's a big time play, throwing outside. It's going to be incomplete, and on 4th down, his team took me off the field for some reason. I don't know why, but they simulated it. McNitt threw a touchdown though, and it's going to be a 30-7 game, and McNitt is playing spectacularly. It is 30-7 here, throwing more, and just out of reach for the receiver. It's 4th and inches, but we don't really care right now. It's been a spectacular game on both sides of the football, and the screenplay, he's even throwing screens to his receivers and not really complaining all that much about it. 4.5 minutes to play just about. McNitt rolling right again, throwing on the run. That's going to be caught, and he is just making some of the best passes that he's really made all season, and now set up once again close to the end zone. Read option. He's going to run it, headed for the corner, jumping over a man, and that's going to be a touchdown, and McNitt puts a ribbon on this one with his 4th touchdown of the game, and it's going to be 37-7. McNitt celebrating, and even though UM Monroe puts a touchdown on the board to try to make things look a little bit better, but Georgia State has just had the most successful season in their program's history here. A school record 9th win in their first ever conference championship, and Prince McNitt with 300+ yards, 4 touchdowns, and he is on fire these past 2 games since coming back from suspension. But we got 1 game left in this season, and that will be a bowl game that this team has rightfully earned. For our bowl game, we will be taking on Ball State, and it is a matchup of a 10-win Ball State school who had a really successful season, and Georgia State looking for their first ever 10-win season in school history as we start with Prince McNitt running ahead for a first down carry, and it's now 3rd down and 1, handing it off. And the running back gets absolutely stuffed in the backfield. Ball State doesn't score here, but it is 3rd down, threatening to go 3 and out, throwing, and it's going to be bobbled around and incomplete. So that's going to be a 3 and out there. Now 2nd down and 10 after a Ball State touchdown, throwing. That's going to be a low ball, but that's caught and on the run, and it's going to be a big game, the biggest so far for this offense. It's been a first quarter struggle, but can they pick it up here? It's down 7-0, but the sack is going to come in. Now it's 3rd down and very long. Drop into throw. It's a screen. He's going to just dump it out. Can they get into field goal range? It doesn't look like it. They're not going to try it. It's 10-0 now, and Ball State is up double digits on this offense that has not been able to do a whole lot. We're skipping ahead to late in the first half, and it's now 17-0 as this offense really just hasn't done anything. McNitt, what has he got? He's got a deep ball. He's throwing one long, and that's going to be caught. And will he be caught? No, he won't. That's a touchdown. Georgia State, 80-plus yards. And they're going to have some momentum here. It's going to be 3rd quarter now, down 10, throwing. It's going to be caught for a first down. Can this offense do something here to get this to a 1-score game? Little screen thrown out right, and on the run, there he goes for a big gain. The receivers are now getting things going. McNitt nearing the 200-yard mark. He is going to throw outside. That's going to be caught for another nice gain. First down, and inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line. 2nd down and 1. Throwing underneath. That's going to be caught, and he's not going to quite get in, but it's goal to go. And it's going to be McNitt down by 10, throwing a little pop pass and making a 1-score game from down 17-0, and now it's going to be a 1-score game. Defense with a stop, and now an opportunity to take a lead maybe underneath. That's going to be caught. First down. 3rd down conversion is good. McNitt having another very nice game. It's 3rd down once more. Can he have another conversion in him? No, he cannot. And unfortunately, Ball State puts it into the end zone. There is just 5 minutes to play. It's a 10-point game, and if Georgia State's going to have a chance to get a victory here and get that first 10-win season, they're going to need some magic here. It's 3rd down, throwing outside, and that's going to be a jump ball and caught, and it's going to be inside the 35-yard line, and they need to put points up on the board here if they're going to have a chance. Throwing over the middle, that's going to be caught for a first down. 15-yard line, now inside at 2nd down. It's going to be throwing, incomplete. Hit as he's thrown, but there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be pass interference. I don't know what really happened down the field, but the ref seen something maybe we didn't. 2nd down and goal now. Throwing, McNitt will go end zone for the touchdown, and we are back to a 3-point game. Can the defense get a stop to give us an opportunity? And they will, and we will have 2 minutes to play to try to get this ball into the end zone. Obviously, that's the goal, but a field goal will do it too. Now, first down, throwing outside, got the running back. He turns it upfield for a nice gain. First down, we are already nearing field goal range, maybe 15 yards away. Throwing, slant route, got it, and it's going to be caught for a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4. 2-minute warning has hit. It is going to be McNitt to throw it. He's going to check it down. Could have ran it. Instead, he's going to throw that for the first, and now with under 2 to play. 149 ticking down. McNitt rolling right. He's got just enough speed. Throwing it, and that's going to be caught, and he just got that ball out before he got sacked. 1.5 minutes now. Red zone. McNitt throwing. He's got another completion turning upfield, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5. 1:14 to play. Dropping, throwing, and McNitt, will he run for it? He's got space. He will. He's got the first down, slides down. He could have tried to jump or maybe do something. He didn't. And now 30 seconds to play. They let the clock run down, and it's going to be now under 30 to play. Handoff, and it's going to be touchdown Panthers, and McNitt leads the drive, and now it's going to be up to the defense to try to seal the deal on a big-time season for the Panthers. McNitt goes to the sidelines, and he can only watch his defense, who has 20 seconds to try to hold things together. They're going to need a touchdown, though, so do they have it in them? 14 seconds to play. Make it one more play, and it's not going to happen. Prince McNitt was given one more chance, and he was given one opportunity to come out here and save his career as a starting Division I quarterback. And with the final 3 games he put out, and a conference championship victory, a bowl game victory, a best season ever for Georgia State, he might have done exactly what he needs to do to showcase that he is every bit the player that he was thought to be coming out of high school. And now as we look, his overall season statistics aren't going to look crazy overall, but you have to look at what he was able to do in those final 3 games where he had over 300 yards in every single one of them, 3 touchdowns in every single one of them, and it was just a spectacular performance. He threw more touchdowns in those final 3 games than he had in his first 8 as a starting quarterback, and he had a 9 touchdowns to 2 interception ratio to close the season. And that begs the question, what's next for Prince McNitt? And for that, I'll leave it up to you guys, as this video has come to a close and I want to know what you think. Should this series continue? If you enjoyed it, do you want to see me expand on it and go to a next season and go and continue out his whole career? Let me know, and if so, if you do want this to continue, we have plenty of options here. Did Prince McNitt do enough in his final 3 games to parlay that success into maybe going somewhere else? Should he try to find his way back to Georgia? Should he try to get back at Georgia and find his way to the SEC to take them down? Should he try to forge his own path and just go and work his way back up the ladder separate of Georgia? Or should he say, Georgia State gave me a home, gave me a second chance, gave me even a third chance, and say, I want to build something here at Georgia State? There's plenty of options that this could go. I want to know what you guys think if you want to see this series continue and what the direction for Prince McNitt's career and what his overall goal should be. But if you guys enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe, as all that stuff is super helpful and any support is much appreciated. So until then, I will see you guys all in the next one.